Considering the high unemployment, drastic layoffs, low salaries and increase in the cost of living in our country, in Africa and globally, there is so much motivation to becoming an entrepreneur. But where do we start from? Let's learn the essentials of entrepreneurship from this interview session by Berven and Tawanda Otto.
All right, so you've talked about a mind that sees opportunities. And I agree with you. I think that's very important because most people don't see the opportunities that are around them. Most people are so ignorant of what's happening around them. And I'm just wondering, if when we're talking about that idea of having that kind of a mindset, which is flexible in the way that you're putting it, maybe let me ask you, in what you are seeing around Eswatini, what you're seeing around Africa, what you're seeing around the world, because you were out of Africa just a couple of weeks ago, if I may put it that way, right? So what you're seeing around the world, do you see a need of people becoming more entrepreneurial in this season?
You see, Berven, if we look at the way things are changing, if you look at artificial intelligence, if you look at the fifth industrial revolution, let's not talk about fourth anyway. We are actually going into the fifth industrial revolution. What you are going to discover is that most of the work that is going to be taking place, people are not going to be employed by big companies.
Right.
They are going to actually need individuals who are going to be bringing in solutions instead of having big companies doing everything. Let me just give you an example here. Long back, you would go to a shop, you buy your groceries, you are served by a shopkeeper there. But right now you buy online. Right. And then there is need of an entrepreneur who realizes that after buying online, this grocery needs to be delivered. Right. So as an entrepreneur, you get your bike, you get the orders, you take them from Amazon warehouse, you deliver to somebody's doorstep. So that's the world we are moving into at the moment.
Wow.
So everywhere around us, opportunities for entrepreneurship are coming in.
Wow. That's really good that you would share even that example, because just a few months ago, I think Cynthia and I were visiting someone who has just gone through an unfortunate season, and she was on a wheelchair. And when we're engaging with her, asking her how, because she stays by herself, we're asking her how she, takes care of herself and all of that. One of the things that she complained was that, there's this opportunity with some of our supermarkets for you to make an order of some sort for your groceries.
Yes.
But the problem is, once you have purchased your groceries, there's no one who can deliver those things for you, because the supermarket doesn't do it.
Because no one is seeing the opportunity.
No one is seeing
the opportunity.
Even when it comes to deliveries for restaurants, you have so many restaurants who can't offer delivery services. There's an opportunity here in Manzini, in Babani, in Ezulwini, Matsapa, all over Peak, but no one is really taking up those opportunities because they are not seeing the opportunities.
Look at it right now. If you buy from Nando's, Nando's delivers with their own bike. Right. But how many people buys from Nando's? And even as a family, you all don't want to eat Nando's. Maybe you want to eat KFC, maybe somebody wants to eat garlic, somebody wants to eat something different. But imagine if there was somebody with a bike who says, I can pick all the orders
from different
restaurants, and then I deliver them. That guy will be busy every day.
Yeah.
He will be busy every minute. That's an opportunity. But if we don't jump on those opportunities, then
it becomes an issue.
So
I think, you have so many people, I believe, even who are logged in right now, who might be thinking about the cost of becoming an entrepreneur. That, okay, yes, I see the idea, the mindset of seeing the opportunities, right? That where there's a problem, where there's a gap, then I should think of a solution and jump in. But what about now the cost of becoming an entrepreneur? Maybe I'm working, like you said earlier on, the time when you're working for government, you found yourself doing some work on the side, and
Yes.
you know, that was part of your entrepreneurial journey. But there are people who are thinking, this thing is costly. Is it costly to become an entrepreneur?
Berven, you see, one thing you have to realize is this: as much as everything has a cost associated with it, but the question is, how hungry are you?
All right.
Let me give an example of South Africa before I come here. And I'll give an example of even in UK and everywhere. You know, there's Uber, right? There's Uber taxis, there's Uber Eats. Are you aware that in South Africa, some of the Uber Eats, the guy carries food on his back and he uses not a motorcycle, he uses a bicycle
Right.
to deliver around.
Right.
Some actually just walk. Delivering the food.
Wow.
So if you're saying the costs, you start by delivering around town where you work, in offices. You have an app. People are busy in offices. They want lunch. Then you tell them, you buy the lunch at Nando's, I go and pick it for you, I deliver it at your office.
Wow.
For an extra 2 rand, 3 rand.
Wow.
You see, you don't need a motorbike for that. You are in town. Then later you can scale up and say, now I can deliver around town. Now I need a motorcycle.
Right.
Easy. So if you hear somebody say, I don't have the finance, I don't have the capital to start entrepreneurship journey, that's not very true. Because if you are hungry for it, you always start somewhere.
You know, the way that you've just lowered the cost of starting up in the logistics industry, because that's what you're talking about, right? Or delivery, whatever the case is. But that's the industry that you can actually start off with your 2x2.
Yes, delivering to offices around.
And you are walking from the restaurant, from whatever place, and you're delivering to the places just around. Because you do have individuals like that who are tied down with work, they have meetings in and out, and they can't afford, not they can't afford the food, they can afford the food.
But they can't afford the time.
They can't afford the time to pick up the food and bring it back to the office.
Definitely.
So that's really good. That's
where you start.
Right. So it's all about starting small.
And you scale up.
Yeah. Starting somewhere.
And you scale up.
And before you start, see the opportunity. That's the key thing that I'm seeing from here. And I hope everybody is really grasping that. The idea of seeing the opportunities and scaling up from wherever they are. So I've got a last question that I want to ask you. And this is in line with the difficulty that maybe you might see in Africa or in different countries around the continent. Would you say it is difficult at times to start up a business in Eswatini, in South Africa, in Kenya, in Zimbabwe, or wherever you have also started up businesses?
Okay, looking at the countries, fine, Swaziland is a good country because you can start a business with just 2,000 rands. That's one good thing about it. If you go to some countries like Kenya, you need about 2,000 US dollars. And there's this thing of saying you need to have this partner and that partner.
Wow.
That's very fine. But you see, when you're starting business, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to start formal anyway.
Okay. All right. That's good.
Making a business formal is another step. It can be informal. No registration papers, nothing. But they're already starting something. As it is growing, you nurture it, it becomes formal.
Wow.
There are a lot of opportunities in Swaziland. I mean, there are a lot of areas where you can go for incubation. I think there's Royal Swine's technology there.
Yes.
There are a lot of places you can go for incubation. NGOs, they can assist in helping you to step up. But the thing is, like, you cannot say, I'm not going to start farming because my company is not registered. You cannot say, I'm not going to start roasting maize by the roadside because I don't have a VAT certificate. You see. So you discover that actually in Africa, the opportunities of starting business are there because it's not a regulated environment as compared to Europe, as compared to Singapore. You see. So we have got that relaxed regulation which we should take advantage of. But then as an entrepreneur, as soon as something is working, go formal.
Right.
Because once you are formal, once they've got company documents, once they've got a bank account, you can access loans.
Right.
The more you remain informal, the less you can partake in these other areas of opportunities that can come your way. But nothing will stop you today to start something.
Right.
And remember, in entrepreneurship, like we said, it's not just opportunities. Identify the need of the community. And I always say to people, Africa has got millions and millions of problems, which are millions and millions of opportunities. So it's easier to start business in Africa than to start in Europe.
Right.
Because in your business, you are solving a problem. In Europe, very few problems you are going to solve there. The systems are working. But here, we've got a lot of problems around us, which needs entrepreneurs. Because entrepreneurship is about giving solution.
Right. Right.
So if we've got problems, what we need is solutions.
That's really good. That's really good. So the opportunity is there. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it. It's all about us making it our mandate and just being intentional, seeing the problems around us and solving those problems. So the big question for today, I guess, is what problems are you seeing around you? And what kind of solutions do those problems need? Are you capable of solving those problems? You might say yes, you might say no. But the second question would be, where can you start from? Because surely, as we have just heard, you can start from somewhere. Otto, Tawanda, thank you so much once again.
No, Berven, it was a pleasure. I'll be looking forward to see you in another episode to discuss more about entrepreneurship.